The quest for European glory comes to an end this Saturday as Manchester City lock horns with Inter Milan for Europe's coveted prize. Istanbul will be the place to be. I will be there. Will you also be there? Proud to this final, Istanbul has hosted the Champions League final once. The last time an English club was there, they won it. The last time an Italian was there, they lost it. Istanbul is known to be a miracle home. Who needs the miracle the most on the day? Is it Manchester City or Inter Milan? Who go need the miracle the most on the day?
Inter Milan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me come to the general session of the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
How you see them this season?
This year, the way now people they expect me, I don't see them like that. Okay. People they expect Bayern, the Madrid, even Chelsea self of last 2 seasons, they win them. Now people they figure say they go further. But how things they go, we go take them like that. But the final two, Inter Milan versus Manchester City. Now people they expect Bayern. Even my brother Scanty predicted that Bayern is his favorite. A lot of
even Sheldon.
So Man City, Inter Milan, it be nice game. We just expect say the game will go nice.
But Charlie, welcome to Pro for the first time. Yeah.
Thank you. This is my first time for here. See more killers day. That one day, Charlie.
Your general session of this year's Champions League, bro.
I think this year for me it's been good. Especially we've not had a lot of the people that we've not expected go to the final like this. Okay. For instance, Man City had the chance against Chelsea about 2 seasons ago. Now we are seeing them there again. They were the favorites, but for Inter, no one has really seen them since 2009, 2010. It's been a long journey for them. Look at clubs like Benfica. They've gone all the way to semis. Quarters, sorry. They've done very well. You look at the clubs that have gone further. Even Leipzig at a point where one of the clubs that people were expecting after that 1-1 first leg with Manchester City. So I think this year's Champions League, for me, it's been interesting. I've enjoyed it. I won't even lie to you. Okay. And I think we could even see more competitiveness, next season because we're seeing a lot of teams that are underdogs like Lens and the likes coming into
Newcastle and co.
Exactly. Right. It's going to be fun.
Lekram, same question to you.
This year's Champions League, I would say, I've not seen a lot of surprises have happened. The only surprise I think is Inter in the final, and that had to do with the fact that Inter were beneficiaries of a very, very good draw. They found themselves on the right side of the draw, and that maybe played a part in it. But when you look at how everything played out, there were some teams that lived up to expectation. A team like Manchester City. For me personally, I expected them to win it at the start of the season because you watch their trajectory in the last 3 years, finalists to semi-finalists, and the semi-final. You watch how they went out last year. I think it went down to pure luck. Then this year, with the addition of Erling Haaland, I thought they had it in them to win the Champions League. So for me, they are where I expected them to be. It's just left to them to make the final step. But then there've been some disappointments. Barcelona, for example, PSG. I expected PSG to put up a good fight. In fact, I predicted the PSG Manchester City final this year.
Oh man, I knew they would go out.
And from the way they played, it doesn't have to do with how they went out. You see, I can take going out in a certain way, but the way they went out with no fight, and you watch the 11 players on the pitch, they played like 11 strangers. That was very disappointing for me. So that PSG Barcelona might be the biggest disappointment of this season. Okay. This is in Champions League. But aside that, I expected Man City to go far. They went far.
Yeah, they.
And Real Madrid are always going to be in the final. They are always going to be there in and around the trophy. So everyone I expected to get there got there. Okay. It was aside Barca and PSG has been a normal Champions League.
You had the last year.
Yeah, this Champions League has been very boring for me because the expectations for this Champions League then go as planned. If you watch Champions League over the years, comeback then things. We have seen Roma do comeback against Barcelona, and Madrid, Chelsea, home and away. But this one, you show first leg, you go to second leg, the same result we're expecting. You don't see any team proving doubters wrong. So I was expecting City first leg, 3-0 lead. You go bat. Nothing. Last, you see Chelsea do come back against Madrid 3-3, go into extra, but this is in just the normal thing we just see.
All right. Okay, let's look at the road to the final. Maybe start with City. And they were in Group G with Dortmund, Sevilla, and Copenhagen. Can I shock you?
Shock me.
City then conceded only 5 goals this season throughout the tournament. Only 5 goals. How did you see them?
it'd be very shocking to see City concede. People don't even know this. We're only looking at the goals they have scored. They have scored about, I think, 15 or even more. And Haaland alone get like 7 or 8 from inside. They conceding 5. We are not even looking at their defense, but City has been a team that they have been very compact at the back. The group they were in, everyone was predicting them, say, they will come out. Sevilla go win trophy. It will go win. Dortmund to go bottle trophy. But at the end of the day, City conceding 5, it not going to be shocking to anybody. Because they have one of the best defense, even in the league for England. Say.
Like, only 5 goals. Chelsea do how much as they win the league, Champions League 2 years ago. I think 4.
But you see,
4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4.
It'll be around the same range.
Yeah, 4, 5.
4, 5, yeah.
the way Manchester City defend, it be something where many people know wreck. It is one aspect of their game that has gone unnoticed, but they are a very, very good defensive side.
Yeah.
Especially when Pep started playing that 4 centre backs in defense. You see, he leaves very little space, and it's I would say City's defensive transformation started after one particular game. There was this game they played, I think in the Premier League. They lost or they drew, and after in the press conference, Pep was like, "If we go on this way, we face Manchester, we face Arsenal, we face Madrid, we'll lose 5-0."
Yeah. Against Brentford.
When I watch the press
Brentford. Yeah. Against
when you watch the press conference, you would think, oh, Pep is just waffling. He's just waffling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I watch the extended highlights of that game, and it is true. If they had used that same defensive strategy to play against any of the big team, they would have lost. And it's because they left so much spaces, and they left their fullbacks exposed.
Okay.
It was after that game that he started doing things differently. He put Akanji on the left. That's when he brought about that Stones driving into midfield, making it a back 3 and all that.
Okay.
And it was when they started defending better, they started controlling spaces better, especially at home. When they are playing at home, they do that thing very well, and it's been a turnaround in their season. They've defended better. They've conceded less.
It's hard to beat them at the Etihad.
Yes, and they're on their way.
All right. So in the knockout phases, they slapped Leipzig like 7+. Yeah, where then score Bayern, the whole Bayern. Then come out Bayern. We then come out the Kings. Which of the knockout phases games impressed you the most when it comes to City?
I think the one against, actually the two between Madrid and Bayern were both good games. Okay. But the one against Bayern was totally different because we expected Tuchel to do something against City. And we all know Tuchel's record against Pep. They are two good managers, but when they face each other, you can tell like these are two heavyweights in a boxing fight. Like you can tell you leave them to have that fight. Yes. But unfortunately, Tuchel didn't come up.
The shipper maybe
unexpected. I don't know. It be like you go bed where the tactics no work. Like that Beke, whatever he planned. No, Pep disgrace him totally to the extent. I think that is part of why Oliver Kahn and the co have been sacked. Because how can you have Nagelsmann there who has had an excellent record in the group of death, which we'll come to, and goes on in the league, everything is looking fine. They are on their way to win 3 trophies, and then they lose everything in like 2 weeks.
Okay. So
I think that's where they lost it. But I think that game was what stood out for me because Pep did everything right.
What about the City knockout phase?
Yeah.
We will give you.
People they forget say City. Kawalka, he just came inside. Natake hit. City, Pep they play 4 defenders, centre backs, Stones, Ake, Akanji, then Diaz. If them be fully fit, so City go concede less. Natake hit. That be why Kawalka come inside. So the way City start to concede less, it be shocking. Pep to know they go with possessing football again. They go with transitional play. Ready, Bernardo Silva, if they fit give him assignment, say if you lose the ball, make it cut. Bernardo Silva they take cut. So Pep, you always they change in tactics. Okay. That be the main reason why City no concede more this season.
Okay. Inter Milan were also in Group C with Bayern, Barca, and Victoria Pleasant. But they considered 10 goals. I think throughout the tournament, they considered 10 goals.
Yeah.
And for a team that we call them a best defensive side with their competence at the back there, that's shocking for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's actually shocking. But around that period, Inter were not settled in terms of manager. Don't forget, Lukaku too was injured at a point. Yeah. They've had that we've had to grow type of season. Unlike City, where right from the start, people expected them to knock teams down. They had to grow gradually. If you watch their transition in that group, there were points where they struggled against Barca, even against Barca. They drew with Barca 3-3. And other games where they were shaky at the back and all of that. I think Inzaghi did not really settle early. But then when he did, you could tell, even in the season for Inter Milan, the Serie A, things were going smoothly. And I think that's what gave them that stability to get to the final.
I'll go. In their group, nobody gives them a dog's chance. So they go qualify. But then do them.
That's what Lekem they talk. Inter going to the final, it shocked everybody. Everybody, they predict Madrid, Bayern, even PSG. So Inter going to the final there, it really shocked everybody. But Charlie, they deserve them. Starting from the round of 16, quarter final, they really prove say they will win the trophy, especially the quarter final against Benfica, right? Inform Benfica. They just win with ease. They really show we say, Charlie, they're my favorite for the tournament.
Scanty, how you see Inter in knockout phase?
Inter in knockout phase. Some people will say it was an easy route where they use Kande because they play Porto, then play Benfica, where they play AC Milan. If you look at this particular side, Inter Milan gets, yes, people will say it be easy. But Benfica be team we top their group against PSG, the top in group. Even Porto to be stubborn, but it be Champions League giants. Benfica be Champions League giants. Even AC Milan, all the side Inter Milan meet, there are people who have won the Champions League before. But he try beat all. Even Inter Milan, we are not expecting them to come this far. But yes, in the knockout phase, I think they scored 9 goals in the knockout phase. It not be bad for them, but where they have come to reach is a problem. But let's see how it goes.
Okay, so the two coaches have had their press conferences and they said a lot in there. But to make a come to you, be like Pep, they complain about Walker. He get back problem. And the way they talk, be like Walker no go fit play the game. But I'm sure they'll try as much as possible to make him play. Will it be a big blow for them?
No, the way City play, I don't think Walker will be a big blow. Looking at how they've done their defensive line, anybody is interchangeable. Sometimes you go figure player no go fit play some position. Bernardo self play left back also. Pep is crazy when it comes to lineups. That's why he goes for players that are tactically excellent and technically gifted. So that one, anywhere he puts you, they expect say you go excel with certain attributes. So for me, I don't think Kyle Walker will be a big problem. But then again, if you look at what Kyle Walker brings to the table, that is something that's extraordinary because you look at physique, his intelligence in terms of IQ, he's very good. Attacking wise, he gives you a lot. Defensively, he gives you a lot. It depends on what Pep wants on that night. And I think he would need that against a side like Inter because they play with the 5-back. That means they're pushing high with their wingers and their attackers. So you need someone who can bully players also and be smart on the ball and off the ball as well. So I think he will not be a big blow because they have the kind of players that can replace him. But then again, looking at such a player, he could really stand out if they have.
I'll go be a big blow.
No.
Okay.
You see, sir, talk say Kawaka no be starter this season. Cancelo, Kawaka, they no be starters. They no day form. Natake where he hurt, where Kawaka can. So if Kawaka no be fully fit, Natake be fully fit against Manchester United, he came on. So I know they see say he could be big blow.
Then ask Pep say, have we been fair to him when he lost the final against Chelsea, where he played like a strange midfield where he shocked people, and he was like, if he work on the day, they'll praise him, but as no work, then bash him. So make you expect different game plan from this final. That what you talk, bro. I dey fear because Pep there. If Pep tell you say well, expect a different game plan, he's going to do something different in the final. Don't you think so?
See, sometimes the overthinking tag we take to Pep on top. Sometimes it be unfair, honestly.
Okay.
Because for everything he does, there's a tactical plan behind it. Even let's go back to the Bayern game. The Bayern game, the one they want to win. People don't realize, but even in the game, he was changing strategies and changing formations. There was a time when they were pressing, he wanted them to press Upamecano more in the second half, and that resulted in the 2 goals. Because he noticed that he was shaky on the ball. He noticed that anytime he got the ball, he wasn't playing his preferred passes, and he became jittery. So he asked them, if you watch the game very well, there was a time whenever Upamecano got the ball, you see either De Bruyne or Haaland ran to him. They were pressing him more. So you see, even in the game, he changes these things, and it's not overthinking. For me, the only reason why I had a fault with him in the final against Chelsea was that when you look at Fernandinho's track record for Manchester City, he had delivered in every big game, and he was the captain of the side.
Okay.
I felt he should have trusted Fernandinho for that game. But then again, you listen to his thoughts after the year. He went for control. And there's no better midfield for City. There's no better midfield through for City to give you control than Gundogan, De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva. I think that's the midfield he started that game.
Yeah.
So you could understand his thinking going into that game. It didn't work out. So everyone is going to say, yeah. It didn't work out. But on the day, I don't think Pep lost because of that midfield. That Chelsea team was just difficult to break down. And it was very luck. And it was very clear that when Chelsea got the goal.
You think it was what?
I think it was luck.
Luck, yeah.
No, it was very clear.
I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm telling you.
No. That game no be luck.
No, it was very clear that Chelsea came with a plan. You see, when Tuchel came and he said he's going to build a team that is very difficult to play against, he was very true to his word. That final was the definition of what he said, because that Chelsea team was very difficult to break down, and the game could have gone on for 30 minutes unless a mistake or maybe a red card or something. City were never going to break Chelsea down. Chelsea had their full backs covered, they had their centre backs pairing covered, and they had City where they wanted them. So when you say Pep overthought that final, it is something that is going to go wrong, and it's something that has been accepted. You see, this tax, when they put it on you, it's very difficult to shake off. But that when he says people have been unfair to you, I understand.
Yeah, Scanty, he said, "I'm coming with a game plan." You go change something now, cause this man here, if you find out, he will go do that thing again.
I know they expect Pep say he would change, and even if you look at City in past 10 games, they have used the same lineup. These 3 inverted John Stones, and they win then the game since. I'm not expecting any big change in this particular game. Maybe the mind games they play plus Inter Milan, but on the field of play, I don't see Pep doing any big changes.
Okay. I'll go. Then ask Inzaghi to say City get weak points, and he said a few. So as a Panda, I want to ask you, where be City in weak points?
They should go with counter. The defenders, they don't get pace. Akanji, in pace be okay, but you don't get pace. You see, Lukaku get pace. Lautaro to get pace. Of course, City go dominate the ball. So you just get the ball, just go with pace.
Okay.
Make sure, say, your attackers, then just for get pace, they should be at the right place at the right time. They should just make sure, say, the chances there you go come. Against City, you know go get plenty. You get 2 or score the 2 or...
But Lukaku, they lead that line. You sure say go finish the 2.
But look at the form. You watch. Can look at our previous matches. Lukaku no be starter. Then they start with Dzeko, then Martinez. Then later 70th minute, Lukaku go come. Where they come to it they make difference. Like he just go can't change the game. You watch in last 15 matches. He they give you like 9 goals plus. So Lukaku go feel make difference. But they just know this last time about Charlie.
They asked Inzaghi say going into the game as underdogs, and does he play into his hands? And he was like, "We'll see on Saturday."
Wow.
I think he's the underdog, if you're being honest. You're going up against a City side that are tough to beat. Look at their last few games in the Premier League. Nobody has been able to find a weak spot in that City defense. Even midfield safe. In fact, their entire team be like weakness no day.
Yeah.
But truthfully, it's football. It's a game of chance. So anything be able to pie. That's why I said the final was luck. If you look at and I'm going to connect this final to that final. If you look at the 2 finals that we're especially this one that we're going to see, City's standpoint is going to be mentality, because they've been there, similar team, maybe a few changes, similar style, just a few tweaks to how Pep operates. But the main standout point is mentality. They've been there now. They have been able to see what it's like to lose. They're not going to lose again. If you look at Chelsea versus Manchester United in 2008, if we all remember that was Chelsea's first major final. They lost it. The next time they got to the final, they didn't spare Bayern. You get it? It was the same thing, penalty shootouts, they're going to deliver. And that's the same thing I see with City. It's mentality, and they're going to win it.
Okay. When it comes to these 2 teams, Inter Milan and Man City, Inter has history. They've won the Champions League 3 times. 94, 95, and 2010. City has no history in the Champions League. they only have a final bet. That is all. Scanty, let me ask you, will history play a key role in this final?
Yeah, history will play a very key role for Inter Milan. You see, coming to this final, Inter Milan never expected themselves to be there. But City were expecting themselves to be there. If you go to my dressing room, they have their goal and their targets in the dressing room. Inter Milan were not, it's like Arsenal being at the top. They were not expecting to be there. At the end of the day, they were there. Inter Milan.
I see you.
Oh, sorry. I don't watch your jersey people make this
Correct Arsenal fan.
See, Inter Milan never knew say we'll be in the final, but when the chance came, they have taken it and they are there. Inter Milan get there, then get the history. If it be based on form, Inter is the underdog.
Yeah.
If it's based on the name Champions League, City is the underdog in this particular game. And the only thing we go to help Inter Milan be say it be history. Apart from that, on the field of play, Yenfa ball on to one body. A team where your top scorer in the Champions League is Edin Dzeko with 4 goals. It go hard for Inter Milan.
Okay, same question to you. History.
Maybe the Arsenal thing.
If I get to West.
Well, look, let me stick to the Inter. See, if Inter are going to have anything, one I'm looking for, I want to clutch at straws for Inter. City, as much as they've been good at home this season, away from home this season, they've not blown teams away. Yeah. They've just got results. They've not blown teams away. You watch them in the Champions League. They went to Leipzig. They drew 1-1. Bayern 1-1. At Madrid, they went about 1-1. And even aside the results, when you watch those games, their performance wasn't like dominating. It is at the Etihad that you have no chance against them. So maybe if so far as this game is not being held at Etihad, Inter have a chance, and they can at least count on that fact. That intangible is an intangible because on the day they are better. City are a better team than them. But it's an intangible. I'm looking at low places where they can even get some vim from. And also, tactically, they must track the runs of De Bruyne and Gundogan. Yeah. It's very, very important. You watch the game against Manchester United on during the weekend. When the first goal they scored, Fred got caught slacking. He didn't track, Fred and Casemiro both didn't track the runs of De Bruyne and Gundogan. And they left a ton of space for them to run into. Okay. That is what caused them the first goal. If Inter do that, City are going to start in a similar way. And Gundogan is such a player that he makes intelligent runs. You have to be very intelligent to keep up with him. So if they leave him, if they let him be, it's going to really, really affect them on the day.
But it's still on history. 1964, 1965, 2010 for Inter Milan. City only one final against Chelsea where they stripped them. History go play.
Allow. Oh, but truthfully, me the 1960s they no born me, so me I don't feel talk about that. But
2010 you were there.
Okay, that one I'll go feel talk about. I think Inter Milan. This team for me is not convincing. So I can't bank on
history backing them.
Yes, for me, I don't get that backing for them. It be City where I will feel toxic. Okay, they them go there, then just make some few changes to the 2021 team, and they are going to talk about history. And they've been just one final, bro. Okay. It's not enough. Right. But Inter Milan, Charlie, they need to do more for them to win this game.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I will quick one. Then we move on. Yeah. The history side.
Inter go win.
Inter go win the okay.
Inter go win the trophy. That's my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Then get something where they always talk say the Champions League. If you go win them, the Champions League for hurt you more. Yeah, it for hurt you like it for bleed. That be what then they talk. See, Chelsea 2008, it hurt you guys. 2012, you can't win them. City. He hurt them like me. If for hurt them,
it's more. Not enough.
Yeah. Okay, it not be enough. They still not get the history. Then for Bremer, where Inter to then get the history already. They win them 3 times. So I still the keep Inter.
Wow.
But you think about it. The thing he talk about, City actually brave because they've lost to Lyon. They've lost to what? PSG.
Look how they lost last year.
Chelsea last year, Chelsea as at the 55th minute, then City was almost at
always everybody they talk say City be favorite. Yeah.
But I say they're not hurting now.
They're not really that much. They're not brave.
2 teams were brave for Champions League in the past 7 years be City then PSG.
PSG don't brave.
PSG.
You know
PSG use the money to any sensible
PSG.
PSG
COVID where you help them.
COVID 1 leg.
Go home and away. Where you help them make them come final. They no bread.
Then
they are
no. You don't have to get to the final to say you are tired. Even from quarter final, PSG score 4. Now referee Abedia Mabasa says, man, you Lukaku come
champion for head you go see
no
the trophy. Whoa, you go see the trophy, but you no go fit touch am. That be what I dey talk.
Okay.
That be the bleeding at the top. You go see, oh my fairy.
All right, if City not get history, in quotes get them. In quotes beat United twice for final.
Oh,
my people. He go finals 3 times. He ship Mari twice, take him. One, he lose against Chelsea. So he get that thing. So that one could help him and like Scantman account to me.
That one they go help Pep Guardiola. See, last time that they talk say City in 22 players, so nobody win Champions League before. It be only the coach pay get some. So it be only the coach that can instill the mentality in the players. That be where I have been there before. I have won it before. I have lost it before. So I know how it feels like when I'm in the final. The players there, they only get maybe Maba, Melusu, that is it. But the coach there, this be main target as he comes City. Pep has been winning the league and fan can't say. But this particular game, if the final way he win, he go put that mentality in the players. At least we are one step away. We go feed.
Inzaghi to not get any European pedigree, but barely they lose final.
Yeah,
he play like 10 finals, lose like 1.
Yeah, he win 9 matches.
All competitions.
Yeah, Charlie. All the count, all the history. See, all the history. Yeah, so if you play 10 finals where you win 9, where you lose 1. It be history.
Yes.
So Charlie, this one too, it be history. Okay. Inter get history. So history plus history. The history go make in day. So Inter will take. That's my point.
All right. Now let's go into the game. Tactics. I'll go. Drop you the possible number for the game.
For Inter, Onana. I don't expect Handanovic over Onana.
No.
Yeah, Damien. They always go with third back. I don't want to talk something small about the third back system.
To me, bro.
The coach will really take the third back system. Can you name be Carlos Pilador from Argentina?
Yeah.
He will take them win the World Cup 1986. He will use the third back with the switch camp Italy there. Conte will he hype him, but people figure say Conte he take him.
No.
So Inter really use that system with that system far. So of course they still will go with that system.
Back system.
Yeah, then we'll go with Asabi, Bastoni, Dumfries, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Brozovic, Dimarco, Dzeko, then Martinez.
Oh, Çalhanoğlu from Turkey, so you play in his homeland.
Yeah.
Kante's friend.
Çalhanoğlu. They play for Turkey, so he's from Turkey. That be good for him. Like if you score good and things, you are.
You sure?
Oh yeah. It happen. It happen. They play for your homeland.
Obiabo final.
I'll give you the City lineup.
That stereotypes.
City lineup. Let's go to tactics.
City always go with. You see the setup on paper. Then do 3-2-4-1. But Charlie Pep there. So then go with Ederson. Neta, okay, if Walker no be available there, he still will go with Eke. Diaz.
Ake be fit.
Ake be fit.
Yeah.
Now at the top.
Walker.
Ake fit. Yeah.
Ake be fit.
He dey ask.
City can't play.
Yeah,
City versus Manchester United.
Yeah.
Ake be fit.
So okay, let me go with Walker. Walker. Yeah. Then Stones, Rodri, Grealish, Gundogan, KDB, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, then Alan.
KDB, De Bruyne.
and De Bruyne the same. But so tactically, I'll go. How you see the game? Technical, the game is tactics for you on the game.
Yeah. So you see, Inter, then go with the 3-5-2. The 3-5-2, the fullbacks, Dumfries, then Dimarco. If then they go attacker, then we'll go add the 4 attackers, making 4 attackers. The 2 attackers rather, making 4 attackers. So it will be Dzeko, Martinez, Dumfries, then what Dimarco. So fullbacks, you forget energy. Make I give you Chelsea. Tuchel always they go with Chilwell. People they talk say, oh, Alonso no go score. But see, you for be active. How you go drop back? How you go forward? You see, if you the defender, you for be 5 back. So the full backs there, 3 back always the full back. You for be active. You forget strength. How you for go then come back. So Inter always they do them. So at the tip say tactics wise there, Inter would take the ball, give City. You know if you go play plus City.
Okay.
Just give them. Then you go hit them on the counter. City to see possession. Pep know they do that thing again. People go talk say, oh, City they don't really play here, but you go check chances created then get more. It be their transitional play against Manchester United. from Ortega, Haaland, Gundogan, just 3 touches. Transitional play, right? That be what Pep they do. Where Pep to they lose the ball. Where Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, then be available where they go fit chop card, then they cut. A whole Pep in team, everybody be dirty. That be how Pep to they take.
All right. But let's enter tactics wise. How you see the game for both teams?
This game, I think he touched on more of the things for me. But make I just add to this here. That John Stones position, I don't know how it would fare against a 3-back. And I'm being honest because now what is going to happen is the players are going to be a lot in attack. We are saying transitional play, but think about it. Inter also they play that similar type of football.
Yeah.
Say they won't play counter. They're not going to fight for the ball because they know say they're not going to compete.
Yeah.
But you look at Barella, this guy, my favorite player. I don't want to mention him. But yeah, you know who I talk about. If you look at these two players, the way that they move for the box inside or even at the edge of the box, then always try outnumber the defense. They always want to add to the numbers for them aside. So it always creates an overload or tries to put a team in an advantage. And that is where I fear for the John Stones position. Sorry. It's similar to what Henderson was doing for Trent. But the difference be this one is he's cutting in straight into midfield. And I don't know how it's going to fare with if they're playing is it Dumfries from that side?
Yeah, Dumfries on the right. Yeah.
If he's playing from that side, that means they're going to use a lot of pace. And I don't know how John Stones will fare against that. So that's my only issue.
But nobody has stressed John Stones so far in that position. No.
It's because we've not really seen the 3-back sides play like that. This is a final. It's going to be totally different. They're going to actually try and target that. Nobody has tried to target that. Everybody, they try play safe. Because Pep in team, you have to play safe. If you get the ball, they try hit you. But this one, I think they are going to try and use that position as a weak point.
Okay.
And I want to see how that would work.
That will pan out. Look at him. Tactics.
Like I touched a bit on tactics before,
Yeah,
and I was speaking about tracking their runners. For me, every team that has beaten or got a point from City this season, they've done one thing. They've found a solution to Kevin De Bruyne. And it might sound quite simple, but De Bruyne is very difficult to mark. Because you look at the Madrid game, for example, they were dealing with him for most part of the game. Immediately, you take your eyes off him. He can shoot with both feet very, very well. He can shoot from afar. So you don't give that guy a bit more space. You watch United, for most part of that game, United did something that I like very much. They put Fred on him. And Fred, even though I would say, even though De Bruyne got some looks, he got behind him a few times, but for majority of the game, Fred was on him. He was up to the task. So I think you could see that when you take someone like Kevin De Bruyne, when you leave him alone, when he's able to drop deep, find passes and run rings around you are dead. Because when he moves into space, he sees Haaland. And when he sees Haaland, 90% of the time, you find it.
Okay.
So when you don't have a plan for Kevin De Bruyne, you've lost the battle. So Inter coming into this game have to have a plan for Kevin De Bruyne. Then again, I mentioned Gundogan. Track his runs. Don't leave space between the midfield and the defense. If you do that, City will capitalize on it.
Look, speaking of De Bruyne, he has a knack for having bad days in finals. That thing will feel hit him again. Don't you think so? Against Chelsea.
Against Chelsea, that game, my question is fitness, because you could see after that tackle, he went out. Even though he was fighting to get his whole demeanor before the game makes me question his fitness. But then again, you watch his record in finals, and we don't have enough sample to say he's not been having good finals. So I don't really agree with that sentiment. But against Chelsea I would like to think it was a one-off. This game is one he has to turn up for. He knows he has to for City. He knows he has to turn up and he's going to turn up.
Scanty.
Yeah.
Why they take pass?
Yeah, I like how everybody speak. Then me, I will end them. I like that particular one. I go start first with the 3-back. You see, we have not seen if teams they meet City, maybe teams that play natural 4-back, they meet City because of City in ball play. Let's change to a 3-back. But this is a team that traditionally they play 3-back. So they know the 3-back system play very well going into this particular game. And City in 3-back be 3-back that has wingers. On any other skill, 3-backs, they don't have wingers. They only use the fullbacks. Inter Milan 3-back, they use fullbacks. But City in 3-back, they have Grealish at the wings. They have Bernardo Silva on the wings at the same time. So looking at two teams where they play 3 back, that be what you talk about John Stones. It will worry him in particular. Inter doesn't attack from the wings; they attack from the middle. Yeah. So it means that there will be more pressure on the City midfield. So if De Bruyne and Gundogan they go forward a lot, it's going to create problems for them. Because if you look at the Inter, they are midfielders. The 3 people in the midfield, they are very good when they are going. Mkhitaryan, looking at Changalungu, my boy. You understand? There are 2 players that are very good when they are going forward. But then again, I have problem with Inter Milan, them a back line. City has scored 31 goals in this Champions League alone. I said 31. Haaland has scored 12.
That comes to D5.
Yes, Haaland has scored 12 alone in this particular game. So even if you are looking at City, if you mark Haaland, you have De Bruyne to mark. If you leave De Bruyne, you have Gundogan to mark. Even if you leave him, you have Grealish to mark. Bernardo Silva D. So I'm not expecting Inter Milan to go and do man marking in this game.
Okay.
If you do man marking, you short players. Already your players will be good enough. If you do man marking, you are going to short. So allow the City to play the ball. But the counter strategy to go work. Hey, City the counter. But this time, first way Manchester United, they use counter to do them. But now counter save it be hard.
Okay.
That's why they use Kyle Walker. But this game, even if Kyle Walker is not available, it's no problem. Because we'll be Inter and winger. Dumfries, DiMarco, Ononimri. So even if with more Walker out save, it shouldn't be a problem for Manchester City.
Okay.
So that be what me I get talk about this.
All right. Make I add 2 things, make you wrap up. Man, can't tactics. I'm back coming. I'll not go feel better. So for the City, the Inter midfield, Inter the moment will be very compact. It'll be very, very compact. 3 midfielders. City to be very compact. If they play the game on Saturday, City go try go wide. Because you don't go find space for the middle day. If you go wide, you go face Damien, then
Bastoni.
Damien the right, this guy.
Dumfries, then
DiMarco.
Then DiMarco, then Bastoni for there. So 2v2 every time.
Yeah.
Where you go pass? So to me, basic errors will worry the team for this game inside. Basic errors. They take me to the goalkeepers. Them 2 will be ball playing goalkeepers, sweepers. On the day, Pep go try press more than Inter people.
Yeah.
They go press. Pep go press very well because we don't have a sweeper of the ball. He they go wide every time. And listen to the try carry the ball come forward because they don't go press and they go feel different
word, right?
Edison go try carry the ball come forward because City go feel consecutive for the middle game.
What did they want though?
Consecutive. No. Hold your car.
Conservative.
Consecutive.
Conservative. Alright. So make I take again. So on the day, the 2 goalkeepers, very important. Then will be ball playing goalkeepers. Ball playing. City go try press Onana. When he dey go wide every time. But for Ederson, he dey push the ball come forward. When the midfield go be very compact. So on the day, Inter Milan no go press. They go draw back. They go lay back for Ederson. So he go help him push forward and kick the balls straight to in player. So the goalkeepers go be factor for the game inside. They go influence the game. You go press Onana, no. You go help you. That's what they want add. When you go to the predictions, they make you wrap up. I'll get your prediction on the day.
Inter 2-1.
Hey, why?
Read my lips.
You always read the lips.
Anytime they read your lips, nothing they happen.
Nothing they happen.
It go up.
You go up Inter 2-1. Alright, what day?
The match where they play against Bayern, what was the score? The first leg 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, I'm going for that same score.
In the final.
Yeah.
Wow.
3-0.
They came.
2-0. I'm sure Pep is smart. After the second goal, he's not going to go for me. I'll be surprised if he goes for me.
The last time they play game for Istanbul, they go extra time. To me, this game no extra time.
Yeah.
But who go win now?
First half City 3-0. Inter Milan no go score 1 goal. Yes. First half City 3-0. Second half they then can relax.
You sure?
Yeah.
So how go you play the Inter in Baku?
Yeah, Inter.
Read my lips.
So make I join you now.
Yeah. Inzaghi talk plus me. I did
Talk plus you. All right. Next year's Champions League final is going to be at Wembley, and I can assure you, Arsenal will be there. The pro team they come upon Hall, Legon this Saturday. So join me for there. If you want to see Scanty, Agogo, and the Terry, everybody for there, shout and join me for there. Make you have fun on Saturday. This has been your Pro Champions League preview. My name is Ajo. Subscribe to the channel.
Fish say make I ask you something. He say where Chelsea go dey. He say make I ask you.
Chelsea go do where?
He say make I ask you where Chelsea go dey.
Where Chelsea
Foul
go
Jimmy.
dey?
He say make I ask you where Chelsea go
Chelsea
dey.
go play Champions League.
Where Chelsea go
Chelsea
dey.
go play Champions League.
Over one
Chelsea, we are out. We are out.
Chelsea
They
go
don't
play
go
for
trade
Adomi Bridge. Adomi Bridge. Adomi Bridge.